Hey everybody, welcome back to the great state of Montana. Hey, this is the Carbine Cowboy coming at you today. I picked up my Jeep. Yeah, that's right. I got a 2019 Wrangler Sport S. If you're an older person like me, this thing's got more electronic crap on it than what they had on the first spaceship they sent to the moon. I'm going to give you a little bit of review on this Jeep, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I bought it on Sunday. It had 80 miles on it. It's a leftover from 2019, so I got a pretty good smoking deal on it. I paid a little over $31,000 for it. Let's see. It's got the Polar package, heated seats, heated steering wheel, remote start. It's got the backup camera, all sorts of crap for Bluetooth and cell phone, navigational system. It's got a typical radio, and no, if you're like me, I was really surprised this thing doesn't have a CD player. You gotta either plug it into your phone or use a thumb drive or something. There's the gear, gadgets, and goodies for the heater, steering wheel heater, seat heaters, all that. It's got your outlet for a 12 volt, and then it's got your media outlet plug-ins, windows. There's the gear shifters. This is an 8-speed automatic with a 3.6 liter in it. And then that is what your instrumentation panel looks like. And it's got the deal where you can change it from miles per gallon to speedometer and all that. Let's see, what else has it got in it? Oh yeah, it's got the deal for the garage door opener right up in the dash. Now this one came with a hard top, and it's got the freedom panels, I think is what they call it, where you can take the top two panels off and you don't have to take the whole top off. Or you can take the whole top off if you want to. It's pretty neat. I'm going to try that out this summer. I'm going to take the doors and the roof off of it for my wife and let her go have all sorts of fun with this thing. It's a Firecracker red. And I'm going to get a picture of that for you, when I get over here and I get stopped. Later, and it's got the 8-speed automatic transmission. So I really can't complain about that, I was really surprised. My wife really fell in love with this thing. She took it out for a test drive. I was actually wanting the 4-door, but she drove this one and she goes, I really like it. She goes, it responds well, it rides well. She goes, it's got all the bells and whistles in it, and she really liked it. As you can tell, it's got your typical Jeep dash. It's got the glove box and all, and the typical doors, which all come off. And I'll get you some more pictures of the interior of this thing once I get stopped, because it's kind of hard for me to pan around and do this while I'm driving. Rear view wiper blade on it, front wiper, that kind of thing. And I really do like this thing. I really do. I've always wanted a Jeep. I've always wanted one since I was a kid. But the problem I had is even back then they were expensive. People say, well, Jeeps are overpriced for what they are. Well, what the hell isn't overpriced today for what it is? You take any vehicle, I don't give a damn what it is, and they're all charging you up the wazoo for them. And for what? They're all overpriced. Everything on them's overpriced. But I got to admit, this Jeep, sticker price on it was 37 something, 37.5. And because it was a leftover from 2019, they went ahead and let me have it for just a hair over 31. So I'm not complaining. Actually, I think it was like 32. But, you know, the payments on it, I mean, aren't that bad. My wife had a 2014 Kia Optima she bought brand new. And the payments on this thing are what she was paying for her Kia. So, I mean, when you figure $400 a month, you know, it's not all that bad. It didn't break the bank like some of them. Now, my son, so there's that backup camera. I don't know if I can get that in there because of the glare of the sun I'm getting right now or what. But my son, he bought a 2018, what I call a rock crawler. He bought the four-door Rubicon, and that thing is a beast, man. 35-inch tires. It's got more bells and whistles on it than any one man should probably ever have. But it was designed to do a job, you know, which is fine. But it's a little more pricey than what I'd want to pay. Oh yeah, and by the way, this thing does have the push-button start. You know, you have the key fob, push the button, starts and stops. So I can't complain about that. I'm going to turn it off. And now let me get you some pictures of the outside of it and some more of the inside of this thing. Okay, now that I'm out of it, here's the interior. It's black, you know, and yes, it does have the rear seat. We haven't even used it. You know what, other than driving this thing home from the lot and to work, I haven't done a doggone thing with it. Nothing. I haven't even read the owner's manual in it yet. I've put about 130 miles on it just driving it back and forth to work. So, and I can't complain. Here's the outside of it. Like I said, it's a Firecracker red. And, you know, I can't complain. It's got your typical hardtop, but like I said, the two top pieces in over top the driver and passenger come off, and then so does the back. And then you have your front, typical Jeep, you know, fog lights, headlights, all that. I will admit that the factory tires that are on it, they're just a Michelin factory highway tread. Them bad boys are coming off, being that this is Montana, and a bicycle here has more tread on them than what those tires have. And I'm not changing out the rims. I figured I'm not changing the rims out. I'm just getting rid of that tire tread. I'm going to go to a more aggressive tread. Why the hell not? It's a Jeep, right? And then, you know, you got the back, typical Jeep. And that little deal in the center of the tire, that's the backup camera. And then there's the back of it and all that. So I just thought I'd show that to you real quick. Alright guys, this is my dad's 2010 Jeep Wrangler Sport. Now, you can tell from looking at the front of mine to looking at the front of this one, they're a little different. Now, Dad's has a rag top on it, where mine's the hard top. And you can tell that Jeep really doesn't change the body style that much. Cosmetically, they do. Like I said, Dad's has got the 3.8 with the, what is yours, Dad, a 6-speed automatic?
I think so.
Yeah, 6-speed automatic, where mine's got the V6 with the 8-speed tranny. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. My dad picked these up yesterday. Now I like the tread on them tires. He got 5 of them, 4 on the ground and 1 is a spare. I like the tread design of them. I'd like to see about getting those for my Jeep to put on there, but I think the old...
Yeah, we took them and tried them out, too.
Yeah, we took them and tried them out, and I mean, I'll tell you what, them things dig in like a tank, man. He was going places in two-wheel drive and that thing that normally you'd have to use four-wheel drive, so they work. They're made by Hankook. They're the Dynapro MT2. They're 265/75/16s. Now let me give you guys something to think about. The old man's Jeep has got 16-inch rims. He paid $209 a tire. And yeah, these are a 10-ply tire. I have 17-inch rims on my Jeep, and for the same tire, they're $229. The $20 difference because I've got a 17-inch rim and he's got a 16-inch rim. What a sham, right? You'd think the bigger the hole in the middle, the less rubber, so you wouldn't pay as much. Well, guess what? Oh, well, they're a toy. What can I say? But yeah, his is kind of a metallic, I want to say a metallic gun gray, silver color, black trim. Well, like I said, mine's the Firecracker red with the black hard top, where his is the soft top. And like I said, cosmetically, they really haven't changed, other than the interior is a little different. My dad's just has a standard AM/FM radio with a CD player, air conditioning, all that, where mine doesn't. But like I said, when the old man bought his back in 2011, he paid a hair over 17. When I bought mine, that one was, like I said, a little over 30, almost 32,000. But they hold their resale value really well. I think my dad's, I looked it up, he paid $17 for it back in 2011. And trade-in value on it is about $12,500. So when you stop and think about it, over the period of 10 years, he only lost $5,000. So, you know, mine, well, I ain't getting rid of it. Dad and I both have decided we're going to drive them until they die, or we die, whichever comes first. We ain't ever getting rid of them. But let me pop the hood and I'll show you the motor. Okay guys, what I wanted to show you is, in order to get these tops off, these whole tops here come off. You see these little levers right here? All you have to do is turn that one, and then you have one in the back. And then you pull down on this, and these whole tops come off. But then you have the top on the back. Now this one has the Alpine surround in it, the sound system. So it has 9 speakers in it, I think. And boy, I'll tell you what, with them speakers being like right behind the driver's seat, you don't really have to crank up on the Goldie Oldies if you get my drift. And then everybody and their brother don't have to hear you. There's the port for your auxiliary and your all that. But like I said, I'm sorry about the glare from the sun, but there's the instrumentation panel. I'll give you a better shot of that. You got the screen there. There's the instrumentation panel for the speedometer, RPMs, fuel. This thing has fog lights. And like I said, in order to take the doors off, all you have to do is disconnect this. You pop the hinges on the outside, right here. And the whole door comes right off. Comes completely off. And on this hard top, I think there's 8 screws, 4 on each side. You take them off, the whole top comes right off. So I mean, it does really well. It really does. And I got to admit, I really like that Firecracker red. That thing just stands out like there's no tomorrow. The more I look at that, and it's dirty. Well, from road grime, just driving it. But I'll tell you what, you put a good wash and wax job on that, I bet you that baby shines like a new penny. But anyway, I wanted to get that. Oh, and being a typical Jeep, they all have their trail rated logo on there. And there's your Jeep Wrangler Sport. But this is the S model. your standard Sport has like manual windows, and it doesn't have the heated seats and steering wheel and all that. Where your S model is one step above it, and it's right below the Sahara. So yeah, I mean, for the average guy that's an outdoorsman, wants to use it as a daily driver, that kind of thing, works great. But I just thought I'd show this to you. Alright guys, here's the power plant. That's the 3.6 liter.
Here's what you can't see.
And you ever heard that expression, you know, you put 5 pounds of shit in a 1 pound bag? Well, that's 5 pounds of shit in 1 pound bag. Now, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, this 3.6 liter is delivering 285 horses, and I think it's around 235 or 245 foot-pounds of torque to the ground. That's not bad when you stop and think about it, but I just wanted to show you this. You know, like I said, I really like this Jeep, and I've been driving it around for a couple of days. My wife really likes it, and oh, by the way, yeah, it has the heated mirrors on the side. Now, this Jeep, doors come off, the windshield lays down. You can see the hinges for the windshield. It lays down on the hood up against them bumpers. So basically, you can take the whole top off, take the doors off, lay the windshield down, and you've got one badass convertible. And that's one thing about Jeep, you know. I got to admit, if you want to drive down the road and let the wind whistle through your hair, or in my case, let the wind whistle across your scalp, it does great. You know, I really can't wait till the weather gets a little better. You know, when there's not so much snow and ice up in the mountains. And I really want to take this thing up there and plow around. I really, really like it. And I'm going to see how well it does. But anyway, guys, I just thought I'd bring this video to you. And I hope you kind of enjoy it. In the great state of Montana, this is the Carbine Cowboy saying, see you next time.